I was an eyewitness to this total fabrication of 10 felonies and 4 misdemeanors. And to this day, I haven't got over it. And I sit down, I try to write the book, and I'll go about 20 minutes, and all the anger wells up. And I can't, and I feel like the spirit of Michael is saying, gotta let it go, William. Just gotta let it go and get it done. Get it done. Don't give up. Get it done. And then I have to go away and feed my guinea pigs, calm down. And that's why they're so fat, because I'm always going out to feed them so I can calm down. And then I can go back and I write some more. And I've been working at it for over 3 years. And it's just really hard. And I'm not a Michael Jackson fan. That's the irony of it. I never went to a concert. I never bought a CD. I didn't buy any of his music. And when songs would come on, I would think, who's that? I kind of like that one about healing the world. It's got a nice jingle. And later, after the trial, I bought my first Michael Jackson CD set. It was like a fold-out thing. Gave one to B.J. Hickman, who was the loudmouth guy yelling, "Innocent!" He was a real Michael Jackson fanatic. I wasn't a fanatic. I was just seeing if justice was being done. And having lost 5 cousins in Vietnam, my best friend died in Vietnam, I felt personally outraged that this county could take a man that was so innocent and just drag him through this, and every day drag him into court and let this scummy family, the Avizo family, throw mud at him. And just throw mud at him. And I still can remember vividly Tito. I was sitting behind Tito, who was right next to his mother one day, and you could see the veins in his side of his neck were just pulsing. He was so angry. And Tito has a thick neck, but you could see those veins pulsing. And I knew Tito was really angry, and I was too. Several days I could see the tears roll down Catherine's cheek and drip off her chin. And she sat there in silence, like the Rock of Gibraltar. She just sat there, strong. She knew her son was innocent. And then we'd go out in the media pool, and I'd watch the media say, call on their private phone. Well, it looks like snakes. They didn't use the word snakes then. They'd say, it looks like the prosecutor Sned and got his butt kicked today. That's what they'd say to the husband or the wife on their private. And then their business cell phone would wake up. Oh, today, this is what we print, or this is what we run. Today, Michael was accused of this, this, and this, and it looks really bad for Michael. But on their private cell phone, to their husband or wife, they would say the truth. But to the people that are paying them to write garbage, they would give this BS story. And I would just, so the breaks weren't a break for me, because they would just stir up more anger. And I had this quick with one of the CNN assistant producers, and he said something to me, I don't remember exactly what, and I said to him, Lisa, can't you guys ever tell the truth? Can't you just one day put Jim Hammer or Jim Murray in front of the thing and let them tell how bad it was for the prosecutors? Because Michael won yesterday, Michael won the day before that, Michael won every day in court the week prior, because Tom Mesereau dissected their witnesses, and you're not telling the people. And he said, well, Wagener, you're swimming in the wrong direction. You're going that way, and we're all going this way. And I said, well, we'll see what God and the jury says when the verdict comes in. And I let it go. But I was inside. And I didn't feel like I had a personal relationship with Michael like you did. And like B.J. Hickman and so many. I didn't feel the spiritual thing. I was just outraged at objectively watching lie after lie placed on top of lie, and then watching Mesereau and Susan Yu just dissect it, tear it apart. That's why I call him Hurricane Mesereau, because he came in like a hurricane. It's just a steady, strong wind blowing all the chaff away. So when it was all done, the bare truth was showing, and the jury had no choice. And I still find, I'm rewriting the book because I write like I talk, in long, extenuated sentences. That doesn't translate well into Spanish, Italian, so I've got to chop up my song. And I have the same problem. I get all the feelings. So I know what you're feeling. It's really a struggle. I never thought writing could be so much work. But I'm interested in seeing your book come out.
An important thing that I forgot to share, and I didn't mean to interrupt.
Go ahead.
What my writing coach said, in addition to, you know, this is a testimony of your connection to him, you know, that he prepared you for this week for this, is she said, now that he is out of his body, he will be more than available to help you write this book if you're open to it. And all I can say is the last 5 years have been the most surreal years of my life because Michael has been so there. He has helped me to find that creative channel through the heart. That's what this book is about, is the heart. And that's where our creativity, that's where our connection to all beings lies. And I've heard him speaking to me in different ways, showing up in more Michael miracles and synchronicities that are just, all I can say is Michael is very alive.
That's what I say to people.
Yeah.
I say that fans ask me, William, really, do you think Michael did a hoax and he's really alive somewhere? And my answer is, saints never die.
Right.
Because they're so in line with God's heart.
Right.
They vibrate in the same frequency God vibrates, or very close to it. And like his songs that I really like are Heal the World, Man in the Mirror, Earth Song, all the stuff against the endless war, as Bush and Obama would have it. Michael was diametrically opposed to endless war and constant war. He was trying to heal the world. I mean, he sang it. He made the speech. Did you ever hear a speech at Oxford?
Yes, it's in my book.
Oh, you did? Wonderful.
Yes.
That's great.
Yes.
That speech was fantastic, and almost nobody ever heard of it.
Nobody. And it's the most profound speech about humanity.
It is. I agree. It's on YouTube now, and it's on a few websites. I'm going to have it in my book, and it's just amazing. Only apparently one person had an audio recorder, and they recorded that speech. And there were hundreds of people there listening. But no big media, no BBC said, oh, Michael made a great speech at Oxford.
And it's profound.
It is. It's profound.
Yes.
And it got no attention. And when I was being interviewed, I was in Rome, Italy, in, October 2012. After I spoke in Naples, Italy, they drove me all night, got me to Rome, got me a room, and the next day they put me on a local Rome, all Italian. Of course, it's Italy. Of course, they're speaking, but they had a translator. And they asked me, what do you think about the tribute artists? Nobody can perform like Michael. So a lot of people, fans, are offended at tribute artists trying to dance like Michael. And my answer was, and it's on YouTube, you can see it on my YouTube channel, both in Italian and in English, because they translated. I said, you know what, Michael communicated with his songs. His heart feelings came out in his songs. Ernest Valentino does. I say it's a good thing, because they keep Michael's message alive by singing these songs, because that's when people's heart get involved. And their heart opens, then their ear opens, and their mind can hear it. Me, I was pretty close-minded. I didn't really listen to Michael. I made a mistake, as a lot of people do. And I thought he broke up the Jackson 5 to go solo and be a superstar. And I kind of liked the Jackson 5, but I never got to see him perform. By the time I got back from Vietnam, wife, kids, traveling, raising kids, the Jackson 5 were long over. But Michael didn't break them up. I learned this just a few years ago. It was Jermaine who married Berry Gordy's daughter, and he thought he now was going to be the great Jackson solo artist, and he went off, and the marriage died, and so did his career. And then Michael said, well, if Jermaine can leave, can't I do my own thing too? And he did. He launched his solo career, and it just soared. And I'm not putting Jermaine down or any of the Jackson family, but I think Michael, his mother said this several times. You probably heard it on YouTube or an Oprah interview or some interview. his mother, Catherine, said, since he was a little boy, he would see the little kids hungry, not enough food to eat, like in his song, not enough food to who am I to look away. And Catherine said, since he was a little boy, he wanted to help the world. I don't think any of the other family had that inner desire as strong as Michael had it.
Right.
And he really meant it. Now we have a man named Evelyn D. Rothschild in the city of London, which is separate from London City. He's worth at least 300 trillion with a T dollars. And he has never given half as much as Michael gave, who at best could be estimated to have been worth, at the time of June 25th, 09, he was worth maybe $1 billion. And here's this guy worth 2, 3, 4, maybe 400 trillion. When you have that much wealth, it's hard to estimate, you know, because you own diamond mines, you own golf courses, you own 20, 50 corporations in every major nation. How do you estimate that wealth? He never gave half as much as Michael. In his whole life. He's still alive. He's 80-something. He still could give. You could still give Evelyn D. Rothschild. It's not too late. You could donate to many of Michael's charities, like the Heal the World Foundation, which is getting starved right now because John Branca doesn't seem to want them to operate. Did you know that? Yeah, he sued the Heal the World Foundation and put them out of business. Stopped them dead in their tracks. And the gal, I talked to her, she's from Utah. And there's no more Heal the World office in London. There's no longer a Heal the World office in the United States. They shut him down. And yet in his trust, after his kids get some money and Catherine gets, there's supposed to be money to go to charities. And I would just like to ask you, John Branca, how much have you sent to the charities that Michael personally gave to, that he initiated? Just throwing that out there, John. Just throwing it out there in the universe, because I think Michael's watching. I think he's paying attention, John. And karma is a powerful thing. I'm not threatening anybody. I'm just saying karma is a powerful thing. So your book is about to come out in a month or two. You don't have to do any more editing?
Oh, no, I'm still doing the finishing touches.
You're doing finishing touches.
Yeah, and what I've had to learn is it will be done when it's done.
When it's done.
I've thought I was done several times, and there's that paragraph needs to be tweaked just a little bit. So I'm learning to surrender. I don't need to be hasty at this point in time. I get one shot to put this book out, at least, you know, the first time. And so I need to have patience and let it tell me, let Michael tell me whatever, when it's ready, but we're close.
We're close. Do you think it was just an accident? You happened to be at Neverland and I just happened to be at Neverland at the same time?
No, not at all.
Do you think maybe some saint somewhere sort of arranged that to just sort of come together?
Archangel Michael, you mean?
Yeah, Archangel Michael.
Yeah.
Now he can be an archangel because he was a saint in the flesh. And yeah, I know some of you naysayers are going to say, oh, but he did this and he did that. And I say, yeah, all that was his celebrity thing. And this is what I put on my Facebook on the 25th, the first thing in the morning. Because I could feel in my heart, there were fans all over the world that felt sad. They didn't have the money to come to Holly Terrace, Forest Lawn. They didn't have the money to come to Neverland. And I put this thing out and said, all you fans, you should be happy today. Because of you fans, not me, I wasn't a fan, but because of you fans, you bought the CDs, you went to the concert. Some of you went to the concert in Germany and England and Bulgaria, and you went country to country going to the concert over and over. You enabled Michael to raise all that money to not only build Neverland, where hundreds, if not thousands, maybe Judy knows the number, I don't, it must have been at least 1,000 kids out there at some time, you know, because he'd bring busloads up from inner cities